Welcome to this windy day yoga. Come to a standing position. Bring your arms over your head, palms together, and stretch gently right, left, and take a gentle back bend. From here, come into Tadasana. Take a deep breath or two and get ready for some standing exercises. We begin with 3 rounds of sun salutation, classic sun salutation. Arms over your head, fold forward, step your right leg back, right knee to the ground, open your chest and look forward. Arms over your head, slight back bend. Bring your hands down to gently frame your left foot. Tuck your right toes. Bring your left leg to meet the right leg. Step back into a plank. Drop your knees, chest, chin to the mat and come into Bhujangasana. Back to down dog. Right leg up over you. Bring your right leg in between your hands. Open your chest. Drop your left knee now. Left foot flat on the ground. Open your shoulders wide. And make sure your right leg is at a 90-degree angle. Your knee is not going over your right foot. Lift your arms up over your head. Take a gentle back bend. Breathe. Come down to frame your right foot. Tuck your left foot. Lift. Left leg meets right leg. Fold forward. Fold down. And lift up. Bring your hands over your head. Prayer position and to heart center. Let's repeat this a couple more times. Hands over your head. Inhale. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Right leg steps back. Exhale. Right knee drops. Chest open. Look forward. Inhale. Hands over the head. Exhale. Hands frame the left foot. Right toes tuck. Left leg meets right leg. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg up in the air. In between your hands, drop the left knee. Left foot flat. Open your chest. Hands over your head. Breathe in and out. Hands come down to frame the right foot. Tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee. Left leg meets the right leg. And come back up. Hands over your head. Palms meeting. And down to prayer position. Let's repeat this one more time. One more round of classic sun salutation. Hands over your head. Inhale. Fold forward. Uttanasana. Exhale. Right leg steps back. Left knee bends. Right knee drops. Look forward, chest open. Lift your hands up over your head. Hands come down to frame the left foot. Tuck your right toes. Left leg meets the right leg. Come into plank. Roll forward and go into Chaturanga Dandasana and Vinyasa to up dog and back into down dog. Right leg lifts high again behind you. Step in between your hands. Drop your left knee. Hands over your head. Slight back bend. Hands come down to frame the right foot. Tuck your left toes. Left leg comes forward to meet the right leg. Forward fold. And come back with your hands over your head, palms meeting. and down to heart center in prayer position. From here, come to a comfortable seated position in Sukhasana. Place your hand over your knees and take a few gentle breaths. Now place your left hand on the ground beside you, close to your left hip. Lift your right hand over your head and bend towards the left side into a deep stretch. Breathe in and elongate, and as you exhale, bend deeper into the stretch on the left side. Couple more times. Be gentle. Remember to be gentle. Don't force your body. Let's repeat this on the other side. Place your right hand down by your side and lift your left hand over your head. And breathe in and out and bend a little deeper with every exhalation. Feel the stretch on the left side. Feel the left intercostal muscles opening and stretching. Bring your left hand down. Place your hands on your knees. Take another deep breath. Now from here, gently place your right hand on your left knee. Place your left hand by your left sits bone and turn your body to the left for a twist, for a stretch and a twist at the same time. Breathe in and out here. Release and repeat on the other side. Place your left hand on your right knee. Place your right hand behind you, close to your right sits bone, and feel a deep twist and stretch on the opposite side. Twist a little deeper as you exhale. This is a juicy stretch. I really enjoy this. Release. And from here, hold on to your feet, the opposite feet, with your hands and lift your feet off the ground, keeping your legs still crossed. Breathe in and out and pull your feet a little more to the sides as you exhale. Release. Now clasp your hands and stretch out in front of you while you still continue breathing in and out. Breathe to lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, go a little deeper into your stretch. Now unclasp so that and place the opposite hand on the top. Continue breathing and stretching, pulling your hands away from your body. From here, place your hands on your knees. Gently breathe in, curve your spine, and breathe out, exhale, and slide forward and open your chest. Breathe in and breathe out. And exhale and open your chest. Do this a few times, following your breath. And then rotate your head first in the clockwise direction and then in the anti-clockwise direction. Whichever side you choose to go first, remember to go in the opposite direction as well, just so that you get an equal stretch in both sides of your neck. Be gentle. This should be a very gentle movement. And when you're ready, come back to center. bring your hands to prayer position. Take a minute to set the intention for today's practice. And get ready for the next pose. Now with your knees folded, turn to sit along the length of the mat. Place your feet flat and support your knees with your hands. Sit tall. From this easy boat pose, lift your heels off the ground and only place your toes on the ground. And you can still continue to support your legs by placing your hands around your knees or under your knees. And continue to take a few deep breaths. From here, bring your hands into prayer. Twist to your right with your toes still touching the ground and your heels off the ground and your knees bent or folded into a revolved seated twist on the right side. Come back to center and twist to the other side with your palms together in prayer position. Come back to center again. Rest your heels if you need to take a break. And take a quick stretch on either side by placing your palms flat on either side of your body as you twist to the left and to the right. Take a quick stretch in Konasana, bringing the soles of your feet together. And now come back with your knees bent and hold the outside of your right foot with your right hand and the left foot with your left hand, and lift your legs out in front of you and wide away from each other. Hold here for a few breaths. Maintain a bend in your knee if you need to, and try to keep your back straight. Don't curve your back or collapse into the position just because you want to stay up. Release, place your feet flat, lie down on the mat and stretch your hands over your head and your legs down all the way. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Get a good stretch. This is one of my favorite parts as well. In addition to the side stretches, I just love the stretches, the line stretches. That feels good. Come back up. Fold your knees in front of you. And from here we'll go into a few variations or modifications of supported boat. Fold your knees in front of you and hold your ankles. Sit up tall and breathe in and breathe out for a few rounds. Now from here, lift your legs up and again support your legs under your knees. With your legs lifted off the ground and bent at the knees. You can bring your palms down to your sides to support yourself by placing your palms on the ground, or you can also place your fingertips by your sides and support yourself. Take a few breaths here. Keeping your back flat. Now place your knees flat on the ground in front of you. Sit up tall again. From here, stretch, keeping one leg still bent at the knee. Stretch the other leg out while still maintaining your boat pose. You can also support yourself by placing your hand under the outstretched knee versus the bent knee. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And switch. Now straightening and outstretching the right leg while your left knee is bent and both your legs are off the ground as you still maintain your boat pose. Release. Place your feet flat in front of you. Bring your knees a little closer to your chest, sit up tall and take a little rest. From here, straighten both your legs out in front of you and lift them off the ground. While you lean back gently and support yourself on your elbows with your forearm resting on the ground beside you. Or you can support yourself by holding your legs underneath the knees and supporting them that way. Or you could come into a revolve twist by bringing your hands into prayer position and twisting to either side alternately. So choose whichever modification or variation works best for you and how deep you would like to go into this pose. Only go as far as you can without compromising the benefits of the position or the pose. Release, bring your feet flat on the ground and stretch out on the mat with your hands over your head and your toes stretching as far out as you can. Come back to sitting again on your sit bones. Take a quick twist by turning from left to right and pulling your knees in the opposite direction with your hand. Take a few minutes to talk to your dog in the meantime while you stretch. Now, placing your hands by your side, try to lift your hips off the ground. If you can lift your hips and your feet off the ground, that would be awesome, but I'm still at the point where I can only lift my hips off the ground with my heels resting on the ground in front of me. With your legs still outstretched, recline a little bit. Come onto your elbows and your forearms. Place your palms under your butt and tuck your shoulders under and rest your head on the ground in Matsyasana or fish pose. This is a gentle back bend and also a chest opener. It's an extremely relaxing pose as well. Try to get your elbows and your palms under your body as much as possible and open your chest and try to roll your shoulders underneath your body. Stay here for a few breaths. Gently come out of the pose when you're ready. And placing your palms below your shoulders, lift your hips off the ground while you rest your feet out in front of you. And open your chest and look upwards. Your entire foot could be resting on the ground in front, or it could be just your heels. Keep your back straight. Hold yourself up with your core and take a couple of breaths in this pose. Now folding your right leg, stretch your left leg out in front, still in reverse tabletop. Bring your left foot flat on the ground with your knee folded, and now stretch your right leg out in front of you. Still looking upwards and supporting yourself on the palms of your hand below your shoulders in reverse tabletop. Drop your right leg to the ground, right foot flat. From here, turn to your left side, place your right knee on the ground, stretch your left hand over your head, stay supported on your right hand with your right palm flat, and stretch your left leg out in front of you, in line with your body. This is a supported side plank. Now from here, bend your left knee in front of you and stretch your right leg out behind you. With your left hand still stretched out over your head and forming a straight line with your right hand that's below your right shoulder and resting on your right palm. Your gaze can be upwards or in front of you. Now lift your left leg off the ground and place it over your right leg. Both your right and your left leg stacked. That is, your left leg is stacked over your right leg. I'm sorry. Keep your hips lifted. Don't let them sag to the ground. Don't let gravity do any work. Now come back to all fours. Lift your right hand over you and come down and bring your right hand from under your left hand and look to your left in threading the needle on the left side. Keep your hips lifted. Keep your hips lifted and rest on your knees. Now come back to tabletop. From here, turn to your right side. Support yourself on your left palm with your below your left shoulder and your right hand stretched over your head towards the sky. Rest on your left knee, which is bent below you, and your right leg, which is stretched out behind you into a modified side plank, which is supported side plank. Now from here, stretch your left leg out in front of you, rest on the outer edge of your left foot and bend your right knee and place your right leg in front of you, flat on your right foot. With your hands still in the same position, the right hand outstretched over your head and the left hand below your left shoulder, resting on your left palm. Now stack your right leg on your left leg, both legs straight, and your hips still elevated off the ground and your body supported with your left palm on the ground and your right hand stretched towards the sky. Release. Come down to all fours in tabletop. Lift your left hand overhead and bring it down through and under your right hand and look to your right side in threading the needle on the right side. Feel the stretch and enjoy the break as you breathe gently in and out. From here, come back up to all fours. Tuck your toes and come into a downward facing dog. Bend your knees, walk your dog. Now lift your right hand in front of you and bring it across to hold the outside of your left shin and bring your gaze under your left hand and to the left side. Hold for a breath or two. Return your right hand to the ground in front of you. Now lift your right leg up behind you and bring it forward and outside your right hand on the mat. Drop your left knee and come down on your forearms for lizard. If you cannot access your forearms, you can stay on your palms. Chest open and look forward. Your left foot can rest on the top of the foot or it can be tucked. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee off the ground. Bring your right leg back to meet your left leg and come back into downward facing dog again. Now come to a plank, resting on your forearms. Now come to a plank, resting on your forearms, and lift your right leg off the ground. Drop your right leg back to the ground, lift your left leg off the ground and up behind you. And drop your left leg back to the ground. Now lift up on your palms again and come back into a downward facing dog. Now lift your right leg up behind you and bring it to the outside of your right elbow. Bring it back up behind you again and bring it to the outside of your left elbow. And back and out again, and bring it in between, bring your knee in between your hands. Drop your right leg across below your chest and your left leg outstretched behind you and come into pigeon pose. You can make a pillow of your forearms and rest your head on it in sleeping pigeon, or you can sit up tall on your hands in proud pigeon. Choose whatever option or version works for you. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee off the ground, bring your right leg back to meet your left leg and come back into downward facing dog again. From here, lift your left leg high behind you, bring it to the outside of your hands, outside of your left hand, drop your right knee and come into lizard on the other side. Again, if you like to rest on your forearms and if that's accessible to you, go for it. If not, stay supported on your hands, lifting up and your shoulder opening wide, looking straight in front of you. You can also use a block under your hands if you would like to rest your forearms on a block. Stay in lizard for a few more breaths. When you're ready, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off the ground and bring your left leg to meet your right leg. Come into a plank and come down into a forearm plank, resting on your forearms. Lift your right leg, drop it, lift your right leg off the ground and hold. Release. Lift your left leg off the ground, hold and release while still staying in forearm plank. Now from here, come back up to downward facing dog one more time. Lift your left leg behind you. Bring it down to the outside of your left elbow Back out again. Bring it to the outside of your right elbow. And lift your leg back up again. And bend your knee and rest it between your hands. And come down into pigeon on the left side, on your left leg. Stretch your right leg out behind you and rest on the top of your right foot. You can go down on your elbows and rest your head on your arms in sleeping pigeon, or you can stay upright with your palms on the ground in proud pigeon. Choose whatever option works best for you. As always, yoga is the process of getting there. It's a journey. It's not perfection. It's a practice. Release. Lift yourself up gently. Lift yourself up gently. Tuck your right toes. Lift your right knee off the ground. Bring your left leg to meet the right leg. And come into a tabletop position. Lean back, sit on your heels, and lean backwards, gently lifting your knees off the ground and supporting yourself behind you with your palms flat. Close your heels and your fingertips facing forward. This is a great ankle strengthening pose. Come down into child's pose with your arms stretched out in front of you. Bring your arms to your side and behind. Close your heels. And then clasp your hands behind you, behind your back. Lift your arms gently behind your back while still clasped. Lift your hip up and gently rest your head on the ground in front of you. Release gently, come back same way that you got into the pose, releasing your arms to your sides. Still in child's pose, come back up to seated position. From here, come into Sukhasana again, cross your legs, or come into any comfortable seated pose. Take a moment to thank yourself for coming to the mat, giving yourself the time, and being part of this practice today. Namaste.